Hey guys, welcome back. So we just got back from Door County. That'll be an upcoming video next week. You'll see everything that we did, all the places we went, and kind of what we picked up. Now, while we were gone, we had some neighbors take care of the garden, do the watering while we were away. And since we got back, we were surprised at how much everything has grown and exploded. We have a lot of produce coming in. We got a lot of vegetables. We picked about 15 cucumbers yesterday, and I saw at least another dozen out there today. Now, with that in mind, we were running low on supplies for canning, so I went on Facebook Marketplace and started looking where I could find some stuff, and I must say hit the jackpot. I picked up about 125 jars off of Facebook Marketplace for about 60 bucks. I'll show you everything I picked up and where I got it from, but then I'm going to give you a little tour of the garden, show you how everything's going, and then we're going to probably pop out to Steins tonight or today and see what else we can pick up. So let's get moving. I'll show you what we got going on. What you got there? Here's some dinosaurs. Go play. All right, we're starting in the back, and this is one of our cucumber plants. This is an early fortune cucumber. This is where we got about 15 cucumbers yesterday, and I left a bunch of them still out there. You can see there's still a bunch of new growth. There's some down there that are still getting bigger, and it's spilling over everywhere. We got some tomatoes in the back. These are still green. Nothing's ripened on our tomato plants quite yet. We do have some peppers coming in. I'll hit that on the other side. And we have, I don't know about you guys, if anybody else is having this issue, we have a lot of Japanese beetles on our eggplants. I'm gonna have to set up a trap out here, try to get some of these guys away. But it doesn't seem to be stopping our eggplants from forming. We do have quite a few growing all over the place. Probably got about half dozen or so of them out here. And you can see the damage the Japanese beetles are doing out here. They seem to have left our plants up front. They were all over the Harry Lauder's walking stick last year, and this year they seem to have left them alone and are coming after our eggplant. Our peppers and our spinach, and you can see got a lot of peppers starting to pop up throughout here. Our Brussels sprouts are growing nicely, and down here at the bottom you can see on the stalk the Brussels sprouts are starting to form. Our broccoli is starting to bolt and starting to flower up. I think we'll still try to use it and still saute these up. So I think one of the recipes I read is it's still edible, still okay to eat the broccoli once it starts to form. This is our cantaloupe, nothing yet, but everything's starting to flower nicely. All the collards, I guess I'm gonna have to start picking these. We might be doing collard greens this week. You can see a few jalapenos are starting to form on the inside underneath, mixed in with our cucumbers. All the bees and pollinators are everywhere. And inside here, there's easily another 12 or so cucumbers. I'll have to pick those later today and go pick up some dill. Now, about a week or so ago, I did plant some lettuce and some Swiss chard. Nothing seems to be really coming up, so I might call this one a fail. And I might end up transplanting some things from over here. Buried inside, this kind of exploded on us. Buried inside, I have a couple pepper plants that aren't getting as much light and as much of the nutrients as they need, so I might be taking these guys out and moving them over there. But while I'm over here, we've got our basils down here that we grew from seed at the beginning of spring. These are our black onyx tomatoes. Our basil is exploded, doing really well, mixed in with our different variety of tomato plants that we have over here. You can see our squash is doing real well. I didn't get the trellis up. I think it might be a little too late for that. We might just have a spillover crop for our squash this year and our beans. But if you go inside here, you can see we have one giant zucchini and another one forming. Lots of flowers and squash and zucchini are forming over here. and all through here. Our watermelon. Our kale is doing real well. We've been picking this and doing kale chips. Our beans starting to form nicely. We are getting some. I think it's gonna be time to cut back the squash again. Our parsnips and carrots. These are our little habaneros that we planted last minute to see how they would do. They're growing, slowly but surely, but they're growing. We got 2 or 3 different varieties of tomatoes in here. Our peas are starting to get drowned out by our tomatoes and our turnips. So I think it's gonna be time to pull the turnips and then somehow trellis this and see if we can train our peas to start going up it. But you can see we are getting some. The boys are out here every once in a while picking and snacking on what we do have coming up. Our tomatoes are doing real well. The last area of interest out here is squash. Now for some future plans. This is the layout. We're thinking of building 2 more beds out here. They're going to be very similar to the ones that we have, except they're only going to be about 15 inches or so. They're going to be about half the size, both in width and in height. So they'll be about 2 by 8 by about 15 or 20 inches. You can see Griffin's garden exploded. I already picked 3 cucumbers off of it. We did get 2 cherry tomatoes yesterday. You see a lot of forming. Don't pick! What do you want? Do you see the frog up there? Can you eat it? Let me see. Now you can see everything I picked up. Again, all this from Facebook Marketplace, $60. Ends up being about 65 quart jars and about 60 pint. We had a Victoria strainer to help separate all of our tomatoes. Salt, lids, caps, even another cooking pot for canning. With all of the lids and other accessories. All in all, it's a great find. Now we're gonna head out to Steins and see what else we can find. is that?
Hickory sumac.
That's right. Do we have one of those?
Yes.
It's called a beauty berry.
Very cool.
Program. White summer flowers produce fall berries. I like those berries.
What you doing? Hi. Man, come here. Bring me this way. Happy? All right, and here's what we got. We've got a couple of Northern Gold Forsythia. We have a hardy pampas grass to replace the one that we took out earlier in the year. We have 3 Carl Forsters that we're going to put around the flagpole. And lastly, we have our green carpet Japanese spurge, or Pachysandra. We got 48 of these. These are going to be a low ground cover that we're going to put at the back of the house because it likes its shade. Alright guys, so that is it for today. We're going to start getting some of the stuff in the ground, but that'll be a future video. We have some other work we need to do outside and then get some harvesting done so we can start our pickling with all the new cans we picked up. So if you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comment section below. Like and follow us, and thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.